Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game. So today I'm going to have what I would consider my most exciting video of 2025, at least for me personally. That is because as of yesterday, Cooper's 9 has been 100% preserved and made playable, so you can enjoy this game in perpetuity till the end of time. When I say this game is rare, I 100% mean it. I know of about all of 3 arcade cabinets for it out in the world. It barely got distribution from Konami whatsoever, and it was one of those things. It was a game that people knew about, but it was absolutely impossible to play. Now that is not the case whatsoever. It's been 100% preserved, made playable, and archived by your friend Lance Charlson, so you can make sure you enjoy one of the rarest arcade games of the modern era. Before I get too far involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I've got a Patreon link down below as well. Now I will get into the story on how this was 100% preserved because I had some involvement, as did my Discord, with a lot of other people, so I'll have a roll call in just a moment. But if you can't tell already, this is a light gun game released by Konami and developed by GameWax. And last year I released Akuma Mortis Immortal, one of the other lost arcade games in the light gun genre from GameWax that never actually saw a release, just had a couple test cabinets out there, and would be considered probably even rarer than something like Cooper's 9. But GameWax made some awesome games, Chase HQ2, as well as the Haunted Museum series and stuff like Gaia Attack 4. They're definitely an uneven developer, either make hits or absolutely janky games, but honestly every single arcade game out there should be preserved. Now at the Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee, I actually brought a hard drive with Cooper's 9 on it when I did my presentation and talked about the fact that there were 2 Konami arcade games out there that I had 50% of. I have the security dongle and IO board for Crazy Streets Thrill Drive 4, and I had the hard drive image but not the security dongle for Cooper's 9. So it's one of those situations, 50% of both games means you don't get to play either of them. But when I talked about it, I did note in the back of my head that we were close to getting access to a dongle, and that has happened. And like I said, this was a big group effort, but big thanks to Random Access Gamer. He is a member of my Discord server. He basically did a lot of the organization of this in the background. He chatted with me, and I kind of just basically said, maybe you should contact this person or that person to get some of this worked on. So as far as my credit is concerned, I kind of just played a little bit in the background with my Discord members, but honestly, there was a huge team involved in this. People from Techno Parrot, Andy Geezer, who is an arcade repair specialist and has done stuff like this in the past, and many other people that I will leave in the description below and mention throughout this video. But honestly, when you get a game like this, one that you've always wanted to play and never been able to play before, the first thought is, I hope it doesn't suck, because I have definitely hunted some prototypes and unreleased games out there. When I actually get a chance to play them, I realized there was a very big reason it didn't get wide distribution or was canceled, because it wasn't that good. Thankfully, in the instance of Cooper's 9, the game is an absolute metric ton of fun. It is slightly janky and feels slightly unfinished, but honestly most GameWax games do, even the ones that actually saw arcade release. They kind of just had a very strange vibe to them. Some of the animations here definitely a little bit stilted, the faces are absolutely ugly, but that's kind of part and parcel of what they did as a developer, because GameWax released other games even earlier than Cooper's 9 that actually had better graphics than this. They kind of delineated themselves amongst the other arcade game manufacturers out there with a completely cheesy and kind of janky aesthetic. Now a man by the name of Fernando, I do know his last name, but I haven't actually checked if I can use it, so I'll have to wait in just a moment, had this dongle in Italy. So tracking this thing down, getting it in the hands of the right people, and Random Access Gamer helping me organize everything, it basically went across 3 different countries and 2 different continents, and that is how incredibly difficult sometimes it can be to actually line all these things up. And again, that's why I love my Discord server members. They're always there helping to hunt things, and sometimes they just bring information to me that I never knew about before that helps get some of these games out there. So there is a link in the description below to my Discord server. If you need help running Cooper's 9, we're there for you. And if you ever want to help hunt some of these games down, every single person involved, even a tiny bit, definitely helps get closer to the goal to getting some of these lost arcade games playable out there, because trust me, even though this is one of the ones I wanted for the longest time, along with Akuma Mortis Immortal, which we released last year, there's still games out there that I definitely want to check out, preserve for everyone, or at least do my part to help it. But it's soundtrack sample time, fun music, 45 seconds, and I'll be right back. Honestly, the music's really good. This comic book aesthetic is fun. Some of those illustrations are a little bit janky, but it is a good time. And this is basically made off the bones of Akuma Mortis Immortal, the game we released last year that never actually saw a full release. It was basically 95% done and abandoned. So a lot of the actual physical arcade cabinet for Cooper's 9 is based off Akuma Mortis Immortal parts, and a lot of the sound effects and even animations here are borrowed directly from that game. And even though Cooper's 9 did technically release, it only seemed to release in Europe in a few countries, and honestly, it's hard to say how many arcade cabinets were actually sold, but it seems to be maybe in the low double digits, maybe 15 or 20 of them. And before I get too much further involved into the history of this game, I should also say Coffee from Techno Parrot was a big part of getting this game running, so thanks to the Techno Parrot team as well. It is awesome that basically there's so many different disparate groups of people out there that are all interested in the same goal, making sure that these arcade games are basically preserved for all time, because as of yesterday, if you wanted to play something like this, you had to find one of those two arcade cabinets somewhere out there in the world, basically in Europe. There's not a single Cooper's 9 arcade cabinet I know of in the United States because it never got distribution here. Now, as of today, anywhere in the world, you can go ahead and play this game, check it out and enjoy it. And that is what really matters, because if you know me and you know the channel, you know I love arcade history, especially light gun games, and the 3D aspect of them all as far as this fun hardware is concerned. So having this made available just makes me so happy. And I will say the game has a hilarious sense of humor as well. Sometimes you're going to shoot enemies and they turn into cardboard cutouts and kind of fold down. If you shoot them in the crotch, they're going to hop around as they would in real life. And sometimes if you shoot them in just the right spot, their pants will fall off in kind of like a slapstick comedy style. I will say that definitely this is my first playthrough, so my aim isn't perfect, but I played it with Gun for IR on Techno Parrot. Everything worked exactly as it is expected. The only thing you need to do before you play the game is go into the test menu and calibrate your aim, because by default it's going to be a little bit off, so you definitely need to dial that in. But that's kind of part and parcel what you would need to do for any light gun game on PC when you are playing it. But honestly, I'm just happy that Cooper's 9 is a fun game, because like I said earlier, the reality is when you're trying to hunt down these games where there's maybe one or two copies in the world and you've only ever seen screenshots, you hope to yourself that it's going to be fun, but you realize that it could absolutely be garbage as well, and maybe all that time spent hunting and organizing was for naught. The best part is about Cooper's 9 is it is a fun game. The time was definitely well spent. I'm not saying this is a perfect game, it definitely is a little bit janky, but it's got a really fun spy theme going on where you're basically trying to escape the building and you have to fight 7 assassins and your boss so you can retire. Although it does one thing that I absolutely hate in any arcade game: it's got a good ending or a bad ending, and basically the last 10 seconds of gameplay is going to determine which one you get. But short of that, Cooper's 9 is a ton of fun, and it makes me so happy to be able to tell you guys that you can play it today. And like I said, there was a lot of chefs in the kitchen making this thing happen across multiple different countries, multiple different Discord servers, but everything came together, so now you can play an incredible game. I'm going to do one more soundtrack sample because GameWax always had great music. 35 seconds, I'll be right back with just a little bit more.
Come on, baby, let's dance.
I mean, if you don't know GameWax games, maybe that doesn't make sense, but their music is a vibe, and it's always good but strange at the same time. Whether it's Guy Attack 4, stuff like Chase HQ 2, even the Haunted Museum games, they have a certain vibe to them, and they were a really fun developer that made some B-tier games that actually ended up feeling like A-tier fun. But I'm going to give you a soundtrack sample of the voice acting because honestly, it's hilariously bad in all of the best and I'm sure intentional ways possible. We're talking House of the Dead levels of bad voice acting here, so here is your sample, and trust me, it is absolutely incredible, and it makes me laugh every single time I hear it.
No, Fred. Your friends are coming. Why don't you go play with them?
I mean, trust me, when you play the full game and you get all the voice acting, you're going to realize how absolutely cheese infested the whole thing is, but it just makes me happy to hear it. And if you're wondering, there are still games out there I am hunting for, Crazy Streets Thrill Drive 4 being the one that I'm looking for the most, but honestly, now that Cooper's 9 is out there, this is one off my list that I never thought I would play, and honestly, my list of games I'm trying to help preserve is getting very, very low at this point in time. But again, big thanks to Random Access Gamer, JC Stahl for being involved in this, as well as Andy Geezer, Coffee from Technoparrot, and Ferdinando, and I'm sure there's some other people as well that they talk to that I'm just not aware of, because again, Random Access Gamer from my Discord server and I chatted with Andy a little bit and a few other people to make sure that this dongle got in the right hands so that this would all be made playable. But if you want to check out Cooper's 9 today, it is out there. Like I said, Lance Charleston probably did the work for you, and if you need any help, you can pop over to my Discord server and ask there, or the Technoparrot server as well. But this is amazing. I'm so glad it's preserved. I was happy to do my part in the process, and definitely is a game you should play. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.